All right, so on this one, what we're going to do now, what Bergman does, and I'd have you just scoot this aside maybe just a little bit. All right, last time we did a maneuver like this, we were on the glenohumeral joint, right? I'm going to keep moving around. Yeah?
Sorry.
All right, so we were on the glenohumerus, so technically our contact was on the proximal humerus. The contact on this is supposed to be distal clavicle, right? So we need to find distal clavicle. So you can come over here, you can palpate all the way out, and we find distal clavicle, all right? Now, one of the things you can do, what Bergman's doing is they're taking kind of an index contact, you know, on that distal clavicle. I don't love that. That to me is a little uncomfortable. So what I do is I take this almost like the index and then the thumb, and I use right where that little V is, and I kind of lock in on that distal clavicle. And that's the contact I like to take. It just seems more comfortable to me. I think it's a little more comfortable to the patient. If I have to get in there and try to get in with an index contact, it just, for me, I'm doing a lot of ulnar deviations, put me in kind of a weird position. I personally just don't like it. Now, it may work mechanically really well for you, so give it a shot. All right, so on this, and a lot of the AC and particularly SC joint moves, if anything else, we kind of want the patient to have their head going the other way. So you don't want to punch the patient in the face on these, right? Yes, and more so when we get to SC joint. So on this one, I'm going to palpate out. I'm going to get onto distal clavicle. All right, I can take the arm here. I'm going to take that out to 90 degrees as I'm loading that, taking that joint slack out, and then my thrust is going to be S to I. All right, that's it. Now I will tell you, some of these moves are super important, but they do not feel awesome. All right, so I'll just tell you right now, some of them just flat out are really uncomfortable and sometimes even painful, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't do them, right? Sometimes you need to do these moves. If you have altered motion at this AC joint, that can certainly affect 100% of your overall shoulder motion, right? Now you're if that's not moving correctly, you're putting undue stress at the SC joint, at the glenohumeral joint, you're putting joint capsule, perhaps rotator cuff muscles, you know, it's a cascade we don't want to go, you know, that we don't want to unload, right? So sometimes it's worth that little bit of discomfort to go ahead and motion these areas, okay? All right, questions on this? We good? Let's set this up, please.